SBR Forum's Punters is brought to you by Bookmaker.
We are previewing Week 6 in college football here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and we're talking right now with returning guest Jeff Grant, sports betting writer for the Bleacher Report. Jeff, thanks for being here once again.
Great to be with you, Peter. Excited about these two games you assigned to me.
Yeah, are you though? I mean, look, the first game I assigned you was Georgia at South Carolina, and as I was reviewing this game, I kind of felt bad that I assigned this game to you. I mean, South Carolina is a 2-point home favorite. The total's 55. They're both super awesome. How can you possibly find an edge with these lines? I guess if I had to take a side, maybe I think, in my personal opinion, Georgia is slightly more awesome than South Carolina. Maybe I'd go for a shot with the over. You think there's any edges in these lines?
This reminds me a lot of the game that we previewed last week, the Big Ten Conference game between Ohio State visiting Michigan State. And got that one wrong on my end. Could have gone either way. It was a real coin flip game as the game went into the fourth quarter. And this one really sets up to be the same. And the spread in this game is 3 points or less for the third consecutive year. My thoughts are going in your direction in terms of thinking that Georgia may be a little bit more improved at this juncture of the season than they have been in years past. The last time Georgia visited South Carolina, Aaron Murray, their star quarterback, who's now a junior, was a true freshman in that game. He wasn't overwhelmed, and what people need to handicap when looking at that game, some people may just blindly play South Carolina and lay the same amount of points, but Aaron Murray was without A.J. Green, who's now tearing it up in the NFL. He leads the AFC in receiving yards. Aaron Murray did not have him in that game. So that's an important thing when looking at the series history of these two SEC teams.
Yeah, it's tough. It's interesting you mentioned the last game that we covered, the Ohio State game, and that one actually, based on our analysis, I did bet successfully. I bet Ohio State on a teaser, and I know you're not supposed to tease college games, but I figured, like we said, we thought that game was going to be very low scoring. Even though it had a low total, I still liked the under, and we thought it was going to be very close. So I took Ohio State on the teaser and won with that. On this one, though, both teams have such big offenses that I don't think, I think that the total of 55 is a little bit on the low side. I definitely wouldn't take a risk with Georgia on a teaser because South Carolina could easily win by 10. So if you had to make a bet on this game, what would you make? I'm going to say right now, if I had to make a bet on this game, I'd take the over 55. What would you take?
I'm not going to go with the total, and we've had success with this, with me going on a side and you taking a total. So I know you're going to be interested in what my thoughts are here. I like South Carolina in this game to win again. And if they're going to win this game, then you're going to have to go under the total because they have the better running game. And when I mean better running game, they have Marcus Lattimore. And nobody enjoys Georgia week in the Southeastern Conference more than Steve Spurrier game planning to run Marcus Lattimore. He's ran for over 350 combined yards in the two meetings. He really burst on the scene in 2010, beating Aaron Murray when they're both true freshmen in that game. And I went a little further in this and looking at a trend. And these trends, especially in conference games and SEC games specifically, carry a lot of weight with me. Since 2011, I've researched, and there's been 23 games in the Southeastern Conference with the line of 7 or fewer points. The team that's won the rushing battle in those 23 games is 20-3 against the spread. Those 3 spread losses, this is important, those 3 spread losses were road favorites. South Carolina's at home laying 2.5, 2 in the market. So that's why I like South Carolina.
All right, well, you talk about winning the rushing battle, but Georgia has 2 awesome freshman running backs. Both of them have huge play potential. Both of them are great. I look at this. I think Georgia may have a better, significantly better run game than South Carolina even. You don't see it that way?
Big games, big players play big in big games.
That is true.
And I'll take Marcus Lattimore and Steve Spurrier featuring him more than Georgia running the football. Those 2 running backs that you're talking about are very young.
Yes.
And they're not the running back Isaiah Crowell, who was suspended before the season, was supposed to be their game-breaking back. Yes, they have some talented runners, but I'm going to take a more experienced runner in a game if you're looking to win the ground battle.
All right, we'll see how it turns out. Great preview, Jeff. Thanks.